What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Welcome to the MG Show, where Shady is here and I'm here. And guys, I don't know about you, but my heart is going pitter-patter because we have big deals going on. Everybody's reeing about the wrong things. And I'll tell you what, you gotta pay attention to this show as we step through all of these Q proofs, guys. All of the stuff that are, these toxic Twitter spaces, these, toxic people on X or True Social for that matter, even, they have no idea what's going on. They're focused on Flynn network narratives like Palantir and trying to tie people to other people because that's what that is. And it's stupid. Shady Groove, welcome to the MG Show, where this is a continuing conversation. If you want to find out what's up and what's going on, please tune in and share the show.
Share the show wide, and share the show as to anyone that will listen to you talk about what it is that the beautiful thing that is going on right now in our country. I have been researching these people, this cabal. We have been digging in, like me personally. My story goes back with this almost 30 years. 30 years ago, I changed my life because of this story. 30 years ago, I stopped eating an Americanized diet because of this show, because of this path that I've been on to find the truth. What is the truth? Where is the truth? How do you get to the truth? How do you know what is the truth? How do you prove the truth? How do you research the truth? How do you see who the important people are that are lying? This is the path that I've been on personally. This is the path that led me to the microphone. This is the path that led me to this great man that sits here by my side every day in my personal life, to each and every one of you, to stand up for what we know to be good and right. Period. End of story. Stand up for what you know to be good and right. Can you do that? Do you have any backbone? Do you have any backbone out there? Do you have any guts? Because let me tell you something right now, Jeff. There's 3 different things you got to pay attention to. First, you got to learn. You got to understand. You got to figure things out. Second, you got to care. You got to care about what it is that you're learning and understanding. But the crucial point is you have to apply it.
That's right. And what do you think these people that are running these damn X spaces, there's a bunch of them being exposed right now.
A lot of them.
A lot. And do you think that these people are doing it on purpose, knowingly, or are they not knowingly doing it, Shady Groove? Because I went into an X space this weekend and it was pure garbage. I got talked over because I'm trying to show you how President Trump is doing deals with individual countries, which is a huge Q proofs about the Rothschild-controlled banks. We did the biggest deal. Now we've got a bigger deal with Japan. Now we got a bigger deal with the EU and the UK. And those are all, usurping, essentially restructuring the Federal Reserve System, where those are Rothschild-owned and controlled Federal Reserve banks. And nobody wants to hear about it. They just want to talk about the bullshit, Shady. What is blackpilling?
What blackpilling is whenever that you are addicted to the doom and gloom conspiracy. Okay, blackpilling is whenever you are addicted to the momentum or the motion of conspiracy. Is the best way to put it. The idea that every single thing is a nail and you're a hammer, so you've got to hit it. That is not searching for the truth. Okay, that is literally inserting question and inserting doubt where there obviously already is no doubt. Whenever you find a fact, whenever you discover something real, you have to understand that as a fact. You have to use your wisdom to discern what it is you're looking at, and then you have to navigate it in real time. That is up to you as an individual. What is going on right now with Elon Musk and Twitter Spaces in general is everybody is out there trying to pretend like they don't understand what Donald Trump is doing. They're trying to pretend like that Donald Trump is the guy to go after, not the guy that is leading you. This is what the MG Show is doing, everyone. The MG Show is following Donald Trump's historic presidential administration and his path to get there. We worked for 7 years here on this show to get Donald Trump elected to the presidency of the United States so that Donald Trump would do exactly 110% what it is that he is doing. I am not going to complain. I couldn't complain about one single thing that has happened in this last 6 months if you begged me to. You understand that, right? I'm not blindly following anything. I'm literally seeing what it is that I voted for playing out in real time in front of me, and I'm smart enough to recognize what I'm seeing, and I'm not mamby-pamby, weak-spined little jellyfish laying on the ocean that can't understand or figure anything out.
Yeah. And it's done. I'm done with it. They're ridiculous. And, they were acting like they weren't friends with all these people, but they were. And, they like us in their spaces when I show up and when you show up, because we bring a lot of people, and it was probably their biggest space in a long time. And, when I left, all hell broke loose, apparently. And it's just so ridiculous, guys. I'm tired of it. I got a guy with a swastika in his name calling me a Q-tard. You see what's going on here, guys? They are running and trying to absorb you, the confused, with your emotions, not your IQ.
That's right. That's the blackpilling part. They're trying to dig in on your emotion, and they're trying to sow doubt in your head. They're trying to say, "Oh, well, Donald Trump is doing this, that Donald Trump is doing that." No, he isn't. You have no proof whatsoever of that. He said it's a hoax, and then you're trying to pretend like Donald Trump is saying the whole idea of Jeffrey Epstein is a hoax. No, He's not saying that. What he's saying is the way that the Democrats are utilizing the story is a hoax, and what you're doing is you're actually perpetuating it for the Democrats. That is the end of it, everybody. There's no more. You're not going to find. If you're telling me, Jeff, if somebody listen, I got to tell this to my audience. This is the way they talk to you. If you see somebody online telling you that that Trump is not God, this is very important. If they say Trump is not God to you because you're defending Donald Trump, this is what's happening. They are saying to you that you are less than them because they are accusing you of worshiping Donald Trump. Yeah. They're accusing you effectively of being in a cult. If they say Trump is not God, that is really saying you're in a cult. And if I'm not allowed to question your master, I'm not allowed to question your leader. That's the way that they play this, guys.
Wait, Shady, they called me master. I'm the leader.
Because they're looking down their nose at you. Just recognize the conversation, recognize how you're being talked to, and turn it around in the moment. You are the strong one. You are the powerful one. Donald Trump has all the power, and all the people that are MAGA have all the power with him. It's time to be the bully and stop being we're going to sit here and be nice and be the silent majority. Shady is no longer the silent majority. Shady is very, very vocal against all of these fake MAGA people since Donald Trump specifically called them out, and it will continue.
Yeah. So we wanted to just kind of, I'm master now, so you guys will address me as such, okay? Shady, I am the master. I mean, you see what's, it's like, I didn't even have anything to do with it. You are allowed to have your own opinion, Shady, right? I mean, you are an individual. I am an individual. J.D. Vance is an individual. Just because he did business with, certain people, it doesn't make him that person. People have to understand to separate the bullshit from the chaff, guys.
That's
crazy. All right. And that's why we urge you to watch the MG show. It is an ongoing conversation because, obviously the people in that space that we went in are not watching the show. Or do they really care? Nor do they really care.
No,
and I care. I care about you. I care about my audience, my friends, my family, which I consider you all. And thank you very much for joining this show. Please share it. Make sure you hit the like button. And we're going to move on this topic. One final comment, JD?
Yes, I need to explain what we've built. I need to explain what we've built here. Well, we haven't built something on sand. You guys, we've built something that is rooted so deep in the ground it can't be moved. You can't move it. Like, I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Flynn Network. I don't care if it's Media Matters. All of these people tried to move us. You realize that, right? They've tried to move us off our mooring, trying to move us off of our foundation of our support and our belligerent support of Donald Trump. You're not going to find any other really belligerent support of him through this whole thing. Look what just happened with all of this Epstein. None of these people had a spine. You have a chance to have a spine. You have a chance to stand up and stand in the gap and be a winner. We are going to be winning so much over the next 3.5, 4 years from right now. We're going to be reporting from here on so much winning that none of this nonsense is going to ever matter to you ever again. Yep. None of this nonsense is going to ever matter to your grandchildren, okay? This is rooted in the truth. The truth is Donald Trump was elected by the majority of the American people to lead us away from the nonsense of the last 100 years, and we are every day on this show showing you exactly how he's doing that. You are free to believe that we are wrong, and you are free to believe whatever else you want to do, but that's what this show will be doing from now on ad nauseum.
Yep. Breaking news, because I have personally done business with slimeballs, says G. Westbury. He's now a slimeball in their logic, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. Just because I went to Ramtha School for Enlightenment, now I'm that person. You see how stupid these people are?
Yep.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, we don't make those false equivalencies. We go through. They say that we make those false equivalencies, but what we're really doing is showing you the proof how they're actually connected. But no, don't look at that.
Yeah. No. Sandy Star White, 1 subscription to the MG show because we had naked people in here. Ducks, thank you. 1 gifted subscription, $10. Mikey Mariano, here you go, master. Now
you're raising money on master.
I know. I'm raising money on people calling me master now. Thank you, good. Mikey. And I love the bass fishing. That was good. Not bass fishing, but bass fishing. Pretty funny video. I hope you liked it.
Fishing?
Bass bass. I love the MG show, fam. Where we go, when we go out worldwide, says Rev Rob, $17 Rumble Rant. We really appreciate you. C Page says, I believe what I believe, regardless of what y'all believe, just so happen to be right. Exactly.
Exactly. That's
because what is that saying? We're always wrong until we're right. And, let me just give C Page a little props here because, she thinks for herself, okay? She challenges what we say. We challenge what she says. We have big boy, big girl conversations with her, and she's an amazing researcher. I applaud you. Thank you. And there's many of you out there that are just like that, and we thank you very, very, very much. Cupid's Cowgirl, 5 subscriptions to the MG show. Now, let's get into the Q proofs, guys. We have huge Q proofs, guys, because it's like a waterfall. And, I'm a Q-tard, JD.
Yes, we are absolutely a Q-tard because we are right. Because we followed the truth, because we did our research, and now we realize that, what Donald Trump's doing that's so brilliant that all these people can't see because they're so, they have their heads up their rear ends so far, is that he's bilaterally renegotiating the whole world, like the whole system of trade on the whole planet. Like, we've got one planet, Jeff. And Donald Trump is currently reorganizing the whole planet so that America is at the center of the whole planet's economy, like it should be. And Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's that. Now, we also have a ceasefire with Thailand
Yes.
and Cambodia, and endless lies, endless wars, endless inflation, endless printing, endless oppression, endless subjugation, endless surveillance. Who will put an end to the endless? Donald J. Trump taking control, Q. And that's exactly what happened. Also, 1913, guys, it's a restructuring of the Federal Reserve Bank. And if you're not subscribed to Rumble Premium, please get it, because every Friday we go over Pandora's box, and you're going to want to watch that. Because if you want to understand history and how your country was actually formulated and taken from you, you might want to get Rumble Premium and go back to watch all of our Friday shows with the Pandora's box reading. It's amazing.
Well, you could kind of see how no one else could navigate, right? Didn't we just go through the 10-minute diatribe about how other people are having a really hard time navigating? The reason they're having a hard time navigating is because they don't know history. The reason you're not having a hard time navigating is because we've spent the last 7 years here talking about history and what it was that we thought Q was really doing, which was taking apart the Federal Reserve. Guys, at the end of the day, almost every single other conversation we have is moot. Completely 110% moot if this is what's happening. None of the rest of the stuff matters. Everything that you've seen for the last 100 years outside of a story about the Federal Reserve is not a story. The stuff about gender, it's not a story. The stuff about, abortion rights and gay rights and all these things, those are emotional issues they use to divide the society, so to distract you from the financial doom that they're lording over you with.
It's also communism.
It is communism.
Imagine that. All right, so let's get into it. I want to play this. Statute of limitations is unlikely to impact Russiagate prosecutions. Okay, John Ratcliffe, who is the head of the CIA, was on Maria Bartiromo this weekend. Bartiromo, and we're talking about D-Class. We're talking about the Durham report, the part that you didn't see. My God, we are looking at some major Q proofs here. D-Class, guys. And by the way, we're going to make a prediction here. Trump said that Obama owes me big time, he says, for the presidential immunity. But wait until you find out that they all have private email addresses off the official business title. So when you're, using fake emails or non-governmental emails, you are now non-governmental, okay? Gmail, you're using Gmail, you're using you're using fake Twitter accounts to communicate, you're using game comms. That is treason, and that is not, I repeat, not official business. So we're waiting for that to come out, Shady.
What an interesting perspective. Like it's almost like there was this back channel that was communicating some of this stuff that you're saying to us years ago, so that we would understand what was going to happen in the future. And man, oh man, am I impressed with our Mr. Ratcliffe over there?
Yeah,
the people hammering him is cracking me up.
That's right. Real quick, Steve Cray says Ratcliffe didn't help much in 2016. You know why, right? Because it was a whole conspiracy against Donald Trump. It was the Russiagate. All the people that were surrounded him were deep state tards to basically try to stop the D-Class, prevent. Okay? So please understand that we have the administration now, and the Q proofs are meaningful right now. Let's go to this, Shady Grove. Here we go. You ready?
Bartiromo.
Sunday morning with the chance for justice, finally, and the DOJ's strike force, named last week to investigate evidence disclosed about the Russia collusion hoax. With a look at next legal steps as we continue to search for accountability for the biggest political scandal of our time. And after a bombshell week with DNI Tulsi Gabbard disclosing something this audience has suspected for a long time, that President Barack Obama may have been pulling the strings after Trump won in the November 2016 election, pushing a plan to muddy up the incoming president's name and handicap his new administration with a phony story about Russia. This past week, DNA Gabbard sent criminal referrals to the Department of Justice, and the DOJ announced the formation of that strike force to evaluate the evidence presented. Coming up, the timeline to destroying Trump's reputation with the two men who saw it coming from day one, while exposing the Russia collusion with Trump made-up fantasy concocted by Hillary Clinton and her 2016 presidential campaign. CIA Director John Ratcliffe and Trump Media and Telecom CEO Devin Nunes are here. Just days after Director of National Intelligence Gabbard declassified the House Intelligence Committee report prepared in 2020 based on then Congressman Nunes's investigation that the intelligence community did not have any direct information or evidence that Russian President Putin wanted to help elect Donald Trump in 2016. Despite the assessment repeatedly listed in the daily presidential briefing, then President Obama ordered a new report, which completely contradicted the original assessment. Here's DNI Tulsi with me here exclusively last Sunday.
The tasks that came out of that meeting was coming from President Obama directing the intelligence community, then Obama's ODNI director Clapper, to produce a document, to produce an intelligence assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow affected the outcome of the election that had already occurred, electing Donald Trump to the presidency. This document that they published in January of 2017.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe will join me shortly. But first, a flashback to 2018 with me here 7 years ago.
It's very troubling. Again, all of this ties in. It's not just Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, Maria. What's important and significant about what Devin Nunes told you earlier is more than 70 witnesses appeared before the House Intelligence Committee. All of them were asked the same question. What evidence do you have of Russian collusion with Donald Trump or the Trump campaign? What evidence do you have of conspiracy? What evidence do you have of coordination? And they batted 1,000 in their response. These are folks like Susan Rice and Samantha Power, senior DOJ and department officials and intelligence and law enforcement officials, and they all said, we don't have any. So what we have known and what I want the public to see from these transcripts is that our law enforcement and intelligence communities have known for a while that there isn't evidence of Russian collusion with Donald Trump or the Trump campaign. And the sooner the public finds that out, the better off we'll all be.
And joining me right now, back 7 years later in the Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, is the current director of the CIA, once again, John Ratcliffe. Director, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Great to see you, Maria. Great to be back with you.
And thank you for all of your truth-telling over the years. We will speak with Devin Nunes, who opened this up wide so many years ago. But I want to get your reaction to what we're seeing now with Tulsi Gabbard highlighting the truth here, as you have done so many years ago.
Well, Maria, before the intelligence community assessment that DNI Gabbard was talking about, and before Devin Nunes' report about that intelligence community assessment, before the Mueller investigation, before Crossfire Hurricane, there was this. In the summer of 2016, U.S. intelligence intercepted Russian intelligence talking about a Hillary Clinton plan to falsely accuse Donald Trump of Russia collusion, to vilify him and smear him with what would become known infamously as the Steele dossier. And Maria, this intelligence was so explosive that John Brennan briefed President Obama, Vice President Biden, Jim Clapper, James Comey, the entire national security team, telling them about this Hillary Clinton plan. Again, but think about this, Maria. That was in August of 2016, and yet it wasn't until more than 4 years later, in October of 2020, when I found, after an exhaustive search, John Brennan's handwritten notes and the underlying intelligence behind it that revealed exactly what happened. So for a 4-year period of time, the truth about the origins of the Russia collusion hoax was hidden from the American people. And unfortunately, Maria, as you recall, those same people were already at that point in time onto their next hoax, the Hunter Biden laptop. This was a month before the 2020 election. And unfortunately, what we saw with Joe Biden's election was another 4 years to be able to continue to bury the truth. And so it's only now, with Donald Trump having been reelected, that through DNI Gabbard, myself, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, all of this intelligence, all of this evidence that's been hidden and buried from the American people is finally coming to light.
Yeah. We just showed a picture of John Brennan's notes, and I want to go back to those because you just referenced them. These are handwritten notes that John Brennan took during that meeting with Obama and the other top lieutenants, where he writes that Russia is aware of the Hillary Clinton plan to tie Donald Trump to a Russia story. And these notes is something that you highlighted many times, that Devin Nunes highlighted many times. Is this what you're saying was hidden, these handwritten notes and the obvious story right then and there in the meeting with President Obama, where John Brennan was writing notes down as far as what he was telling and discussing with that team?
Well, think about it, Maria. During that 4-year period of time, Think about the countless interviews that Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Jim Clapper, James Comey, John Brennan gave to the public, and testimony that they gave under oath about how Russia was involved in our election. And not one time, not a single time, did they ever reference what became verified intelligence, a Hillary Clinton plan. Verified, Maria, because in 2020, Hillary Clinton's own campaign manager took the oath under penalty of perjury in the trial of Michael Sussman and was asked about this plan and said, yes, there was a plan, and Hillary Clinton personally approved it.
Wait, didn't we hear about Michael Sussman on 10's? What was it? What was Sussman, Shady?
A long time ago.
Yeah, let me just go to QAG real quick. Because, Ratcliffe is in the posts also.
Yes.
How many times? 6 times, okay? Yep. 6 times. And let's look at, what is it? What was I looking at? Sussman, yeah. It's very interesting. I just wanted to throw this little tidbit to you as we're listening to these guys talk here. Irrefutable. Q explained to us that what you were going to see in the future, one day, future proofs past, you were going to see irrefutable proof that these people knew that they were cooking the books on this whole story from the very beginning. That's exactly what Q said, and that's exactly what you see here in those handwritten notes. That's not like typed to John Brennan and handed to him. He wrote that down himself. It's on the paper, and you saw the picture of it. And the media will pretend like that's not evidence. The media will show you a fake picture of Donald Trump drawing naked girls with a signature that doesn't even look like his. All right,
it's not even his.
All right, so look at this. Crowd strike, okay? Britain, Australia, New Zealand have accused Russian military intelligence of carrying out a worldwide campaign of malicious cyber attacks, including hacking of the U.S. Democratic National Committee in 2016. Why now? Think D-class, okay? How the spy op regarding Russia hacking and POTUS, Russia false narrative installation of Mueller was constructed. Here it is. Perkins Coie. Guess who's in this message right here? This is Fusion GPS, Mr. Taylor, okay? Fusion GPS approached Perkins Coie in March of 2016 and aware that Perkins Coie represented the Democratic National Committee and HFAA Hillary Clinton for America. With respect to the 2016 elections, expressed interest in engagement with the firm in connection with the 2016 election to continue research regarding then presidential candidate Donald Trump, research that Fusion GPS had conducted for one or more of the other clients during the Republican primary. No one knew just how bad the breach was, but it was clear that a lot more than just a single filing cabinet where the materials might have been taken. A secret committee was immediately created. He was just talking about it, wasn't it? Yep. Including Miss Dacey, Miss Wasserman Schultz, Mr. Brown, and Michael Sussman, a former cyber crimes prosecutor at the Department of Justice who now works at Perkins Coie, the Washington law firm that handles the DNC political.
You guys see this?
Matters. Look at this. So here it is. Spy op, Washington
right
Free Beacon, CIA shell company number 1. Perkins Coie, CIA company number 2. Okay, shell company. Fusion GPS, shell 2. Perkins Coie, okay? Perkins Coie, Fusion GPS, Perkins Coie. That is CrowdStrike now. It's confirmed. And then John McCain, okay? Wow, Shady. You're seeing this, right?
I mean, look at the date on that, man. I just want to make this point about the date. 8/9/18, guys. Do you realize that since 6 months before the two of us started doing this broadcast, we are currently in season 7, episode 141 of the Matrix Groove Hour that became the Matrix Groove Show that is now the MG Show because they censored us everywhere. This is how long. This has been going on since Jeff, that's just a week or so. That spy op post came out a week or so after we did the first Paysur video.
Yeah.
You guys understand that? I mean, we have understood this for 7 years, and you've got this whole nut job worth of right-wing media that are not talking 1 ounce about any single thing to do with this stuff, and you're seeing this unfold right in front of you. Every single person that watches this show is seeing this unfold every day, but the rest of the world is missing it.
Yeah. And tarmac meeting, Hillary Clinton admits that was a personal meeting, so that is not executive privilege, right?
Or official business.
Or official business. So, how did HRC, obtain special access programs on her personal servers? Access to SAP, which is special access programs. SCI is recorded in a local access register or in a computer database where there are records. Where are the records? IDEN of specific SAP on the server provides a target roadmap to review access logs, to that specific program, what process and or security clearance would be required to walk away terminal clear with SAP SCI material, secret material, right, electronically? Did a foreign state gain access to that server? Oh, well, she was selling SAPs. Did a foreign state gain access to the SAP material on that server? Article from The Hill, FBI denies Trump claim that China hacked Clinton's private email. If the top FBI of command, if the top FBI chain of command for the mid-year investigation were all fired, does one conclude the investigation was not conducted properly? Does one conclude that all the statements made by the FBI, think no hack of servers as a single example, could be false? Take a moment and think about what that means. Treason.
Wow.
Q.
That's interesting right there whenever you consider the current environment that we're in, what you just read, and applying it to different subjects.
Well, Congress's way, the month of August is traditionally a really hot month. Nature is unpredictable. Thank you for this is a John Brennan post saying that Ratcliffe is bad. Okay. Coates bad, Ratcliffe good. Thank you for confirming. Sleepers present problems regarding staff fills. More coming. And that was 7/29/2019. Buckle up. Senate votes for Ratcliffe. Interesting, guys. Okay. So you're watching these Q proofs happen in real time right now. They're happening right now. Q posted 6 years ago. Well, the election was stolen, in 2020. This all would have been done had they not steal the election. You guys, but maybe we had to, show them the truth instead of, tell them the truth. I mean, that's why, here we are today. Let's continue with this interview because he's going to talk about Durham next. Was Durham in the Q posts?
A lot.
Was President Trump going, why isn't the Durham report released? Why not? What's taking so long? They're saying COVID is delaying it. Well, there's more to the Durham report that we have not seen.
And Q was a pressure campaign towards Durham to do the right thing. And I saw somebody make the comment about, Durham was a letdown. That's very possibly true for the past, but for the future, it might not be a letdown. What you have to understand is the investigations and the testimony that Durham got could be very, very important as we go up chain in this investigation of who did what where. Jeff was touching on something that was very crucial there, the special access programs. Hillary was selling access to the server so that someone could buy access and access the special access programs on their own from some other terminal. That right there, my friends, is not protected official business, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, and I was touching on something for sure. I mean, this is Q proofs, Shady.
It is.
These are Q proofs, okay? Oh, but Q is all about JFK Jr.
We're Q-tards.
Yeah. So all they did was talk about the fake Steele dossier, but never talked about the true intelligence, the true origins of the Russia collusion hoax was that this was a Hillary Clinton campaign scheme. Yeah. Really incredible. And, Devin Nunes, your next guest, truly an American hero trying to bring these things to light. And again, now we have the opportunity to do exactly that.
Yeah, he sure is a hero, and so are you, Director. Look, our audience knows this, thanks to you and thanks to Devin Nunes. Our audience is well aware of what took place here, but we want to see accountability. Many of the statute of limitations have expired. It's been almost 10 years for many of these folks who did this. But John Brennan testified to Congress, and so did Hillary Clinton, within 5 years. I think it was in 2020, right, and then again in 2021. Are those statute of limitations still live? Tell me if, in fact, we could see a criminal prosecution here, as you just the other day, 3 weeks ago, have in fact referred criminal referrals to the DOJ.
Well, Maria, so part of what came out last week was about how John Brennan, Clapper, Comey, they all pushed the known fake Steele dossier into intelligence community assessments and as the basis for Crossfire Hurricane and all that. But what hasn't come out yet, and what's going to come out, is the underlying intelligence that I have spent the last few months making recommendations about final declassification and sent that to the Department of Justice that will come out in the John Durham report classified annex. And what that intelligence
Wait, what?
Hear that?
The John Durham report classified annex. It was classified. We did not get the full Durham report, guys.
This is so critical for you to understand, everybody. This is why we're so irritated at a bunch of people that are trying to distract you from what the hell is really going on, guys. This is talking about the John Durham report. They're talking about an area of the John Durham report that was deemed classified by higher ups that is now going to be opened up.
Yeah, opened up. Exactly. I mean, this is huge, guys. Wow.
They never thought.
Shows, Maria, is that
they never thought she would lose. They never thought this would happen. Exactly right.
part of this was a Hillary Clinton plan, but part of it was an FBI plan to be an accelerant to that fake Steele dossier, to those fake Russia collusion claims, by pouring oil on the fire, by amplifying the lie and burying the truth of what Hillary Clinton was up to. And you're right, Maria. John Brennan testified to John Durham in August of 2020. He also testified to the House Oversight Committee in 2022. Hillary Clinton testified before John Durham under oath in 2022. James Comey testified before the Senate committee in September 2020. All of that's within the last 5 years. And much of that testimony is, frankly, completely inconsistent with what our underlying intelligence that is about to be declassified in the Durham Annex, what that reflects. And so, Pam Bondi does have a strike force. It is a different Department of Justice, a different FBI, and an opportunity to look at how these people really did conspire to run a hoax, a fraud on the American people and against Donald Trump's presidency. And so coming forward, we understand that they did this, but now we need to understand how they did this. And I think that's why you see the left losing their minds over this, Maria, saying, why are you spending time? This is vindictive. You're going back. This is Donald Trump, seeking retribution. It's not. Donald Trump's election by the American people was a statement, Maria. They said to everyone, we know what you did to Donald Trump, and we reelected him because we know this was all fake. We know it was a hoax. Now we want to understand how you did it so that it can't happen again. And that's what this declassification process that we're undergoing right now, what's going on, why it's so important, and why there can be accountability and preventability to prevent these same people that did it in 2016 with the Steele dossier, with the Hunter Biden laptop in 2020, from doing it again in the future.
So what I think
I'm sure Q has never posted anything about D-class, Shady, right?
Oh, yeah, only about probably like 200 drops or more.
I think it's 114.
Well, yeah.
Let me just double check that, because, C before D, and they're talking about Dan Coates, right? So let's look at D-class, D-E-C-L-A-S, D-class, okay? How many? 114. Look at that, Shady. Look at that, okay? This, so that will also pick up declassify, okay? D-class, okay? Flash break. Look at that. Shall we play a game? Map is critical to understand. Future unlocks past, okay? Find the markers, 10 and 10, okay? This is amazing, guys. Holy moly. These are all the D-class posts. D-class, POTUS, the shot heard around the world. These people are stupid, okay? Wow, guys. 114, Shady. 114.
Yep.
Look at this. Fly, Rod Rosenstein, fly. Failure per White House instruction agreement. D-class, public 3. EO, dated official. IG redactions, heavy and plus remove. Hussein, White House, call, tarmac, Bill Clinton, Loretta Lynch, Rod Rosenstein, James Comey, number 2, or James Clapper, Loretta Lynch, Bill Priestap, Peter Strzok. Is that Bill Priestap?
Yep.
Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, 302s. Where's Flynn's 302? Text, tarmac, FBI, DOJ, operative insertions, UK, SIS, dark to light. Shall we play a game? You have a choice. Do what is right. FBI agents willing to testify, plus 24. Next, DOJ, offer open 2. Next, CIA, offer open 3. Good versus evil, guys.
One thing that, real quick, before you move to the next one, I wanted to say right there, you just mentioned the 302. And I'm curious, our audience, do you guys all remember the missing 302? And everything was all these shenanigans around the General Flynn 302. Do you guys understand what the 302 is? Okay, the way that they opened the report. The way that they opened the investigation So there wasn't really a 302 on Flynn. They said that it was missing, but it was actually never there. So essentially, why would it not be there? Does that give us any clue as to like maybe some sort of association that was actually going on? They didn't actually generate that 302 because they were hoping that no one would ever dig deep enough to figure out that 302 wasn't actually there, because that would make Flynn's story better, wouldn't it?
That's right. And
isn't that interesting?
We the people are the cure, guys. That's why this is all becoming public and transparent. Okay. And boy, isn't it great to be right, Shady Groove?
It's great to have transparency, Jeff. I love being right. I do. But I tell you what I like more. I like more than being right. I like transparency in my system. I know that I can't be a good, proper American if I don't have good, proper information. And if my information isn't transparent from the government, then I'm making decisions that aren't based on reality. And if they're utilizing all of these systems to confuse me, I will almost never be able to come to a conclusion that has my best interest at the center of the outcome.
So again, this is a political hit job, guys. All right. This is a political hit job. And, you know, there will be many redactions. Okay, this is a Q post right here talking about the IG report. There will be many redactions. Why was the EO put on ice? To wait for the release of the Clinton investigation portion of the IG report? Why? To include the D class? Why would it be important to include all in one optics are meaningful political hit job narrative? Republicans versus Democrats, not right versus wrong, projection, end of the D party leaders, IG Huber. I mean, we're already seeing the end of the D party, guys. Who appointed Huber? So, you know, when, you know, with the John Durham started the same day as Q.
And it's continuing. We have an annex.
Yeah. Wow. Whew, here we go.
He's saying is there is still an opportunity for indictments, potential prosecutions, accountability from those people who may have lied under oath, like John Brennan, James Comey, and perhaps Hillary Clinton.
Well, that's why.
Didn't we just read those names in a Q proof from 2018?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
I've made the referrals that I have. DNI Gabbard has made referrals. Yeah. And why we're going to continue to share the intelligence that would support the ability of our Department of Justice to make bring fair and just claims against those who have perpetrated this hoax against the American people and this stain on our country.
Director, one other question on this. Tulsi, as well as President Trump, used the word treason. Is there a statute of limitations on treason?
Listen up.
Well, Maria, what I would say is this, is there is no doubt in my mind that the people that we just talked about conspired. They conspired against President Trump. They conspired against the American people. And so I'll leave it to Pam Bondi and our Department of Justice, Kash Patel, and our FBI to investigate the conspiracy to do what and what charges that they're capable of bringing. But again, I don't think statute of limitations are going to impact, because in a conspiracy, Maria, the statute of limitation doesn't start to run until the last act in furtherance of that conspiracy. And Maria, part of why this is so important is the people behind this are still furthering the conspiracy. They're refusing to admit or acknowledge what they did in 2016 and what they did in 2020 was wrong. And so I think that's why this is so important and why I'm excited about what the American people will see very shortly and what's to continue to come.
We'll wait for that John Durham report and the annexed classified declassification and release of that in this week or in the upcoming weeks. But real quick before you go, Director, not only did the Russia collusion lie destroy people's lives, rip the country apart, but it also diverted energy and resources away from the real threats. So you have people like Adam Schiff, who is now a senator, completely ignoring the fact that Americans were relying on China for their critical elements that we need. For example, today, we rely on 90% of our prescription drugs for China. They're made in China. And so all of this was
100%.
Going on, and they were yelling, Russia, 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 and in fact, not even focusing on the actual threats. That, in my view, is a dereliction of duty.
Complete 100%, Maria. Completely agree. And don't limit it to China. So the mess that we just cleaned up, the Trump administration cleaned up with regard to Iran and its pursuit of a nuclear weapon, what's happening in Ukraine with Russia that we've inherited, and of course, our greatest geopolitical threat, China. All of these people helped build China. They helped create the threat that China is, that Russia is, that Iran is, because they put politics in front of national security. All of these people are responsible for the threats that we're facing as a country right now. But the good news is, Maria, the good guys are in charge. And as Donald Trump is very clearly showing, we are fully capable of undoing the damage that they've done and addressing the threats to America by using law enforcement and the intelligence community the way it's supposed to be, to protect the American people, not to go after political opponents with fake, fraudulent schemes to maintain power.
Really, really important points. Director, great to see you. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Great to be.
Wow, so now we got loop 2 of the Durham report now being actually declassed. We're actually going to get the meat of the matter, Shady Grove. Wow.
You think that this is not coming down? You think all these people sitting around blackpilling, all these people sitting around saying nothing is going on, all these people sitting around wanting to throw sand in my face, wanting to throw sand in Donald Trump's face, wanting to like stand up and act like you have more information or that you are like somehow smarter than the president of the United States, who was elected by the most people ever that have ever stood up to an election and elected somebody in the United States. You are a lunatic.
But Shady,
I know.
J.D. Vance did business with Palantir, and I'm here going to save the world in Twitter Spaces.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I got Google AI stuck over here, Jeff. I was like searching Google AI during the commentary there. I'm trying to find an answer to a question. Maybe I'm trying to figure out if there was ever another attorney or lawyer who was the head of the CIA. I was listening to Ratcliffe talk there, and I'm like thinking, this guy is an attorney. I forgot he was an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking like all these has there ever been an attorney at the CIA? And Grok and Google AI are both hung up. Neither of them are willing to like address me on this.
They can't.
They're saying like, William Webster had a legal background. That's not an attorney. I think that Ratcliffe might be the first lawyer ever to be CIA director. That's crazy.
Yeah. Somebody told me to be kind. I don't want to be kind anymore. I've been attacked for 7 years, and I am kind. If you want me to Bill Cooper out, I will Bill Cooper on these people, and you don't want that, okay? I am being as kind as I can with all of the attacks that this show and myself and Shady and all of our followers have endured from these bullshit people. I'm as kind as I can be, really.
You've beat me into kindness.
Oh, my God.
I used to be a lot more rough.
Yeah. Mean tricks.
I was gentle.
And I am Taylor. We love you. Thank you so much. But I'm tired of being kind. Okay. They're not kind to me. They call me F-jit. They call me red shoe guy.
Q-tard.
They call me a pedophile. They call me a Q-tard. They call me, you want me to be kind to these people.
I'm just going to stay it straight.
I'm a man. Okay. And I take beef liver. Okay. And I'm not afraid of these guys.
Okay, Pompeo, Webster, and Casey. So there's 3. Looks like there's 3 lawyers.
Yeah. Okay, good. See? Yeah, see? Yeah.
But law degree's not a lawyer, so they're trying to claim like a law degree is not graduating law school's not a lawyer.
Yeah.
You gotta be a lawyer.
Yeah.
That don't count. That doesn't count.
DQ says, we love your passion, gentlemen. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I thought that's what we were supposed to do.
There's a lot of passion here.
We're supposed to be passionate, right? I was like, Can you imagine? Let's do the non-passionate MG show. So Jeff, we're going to be talking about the CIA in China. If he came in.
So Shawnee Red says, I know what you mean. I get yelled at for asking simple Q post questions.
They
don't even know you.
They're going to yell at all of you guys. See, that's what they do. They target you because you paid attention to Q. The same thing that they're trying to do, like right now with Trump, and say, "Oh, Trump is not God" and all this nonsense. They do the exact same thing about Q. All of the operators do that. They're not willing to understand that you've read what it is and researched it and learned it, and you are more than willing to share with them what it is that you've learned. They don't want to hear anything about that. What they want to do is attack you because you're an idiot, because whatever you're saying is wrong. That's the ad hominem.
And I am the master.
You are.
Shady Groove, real quick, we got another one here that's really good. M. Kel says that I'll stomp them with my red shoes. These people are so stupid. Oh, thank you, M. Kel.
Here we go.
Zifta says, be kind, got us into this BS. You know what? You're right. Thank you.
Was it the videos? Dude, Be Kind Rewind. That must have gotten us here. That's what it was. Whenever Be Kind Rewind started, that's whenever Clinton took over. It's like you're going to get charged an extra $250 if you didn't rewind the damn tape.
Rev Rob says, what do you mean? I'm not kind. I'm just your kind. Perfect. M. McKinnon says, for a Bill Cooper rant, $50 Rumble rant, my brother. M. McKinnon, thank you so much for that. Because we are, funded by you, not like who funds them. Oh my God, they're going after they're actually not agreeing with our narratives that we're trying to fool people with.
Well, I mean, it's interesting though, because look at the way that the show evolves over time. I mean, at one point, we were very adamant about supporting of General Flynn. We were able to pivot away from that. At one point, I was extraordinarily upset with RFK Jr. I was standing firm against that guy as he's attacking Donald Trump on points that aren't relevant. So on the basis of him doing that, I levied my aggression towards him, and I think that it was rightly so, but also coming to the conclusion that even anyone can stand up and do the right thing. This is what we're trying to show you guys. This is what I like, Jeff. This is what I like about what we're doing, is that we're showing you.
But Shady, microchip is Q.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good.
I didn't. What? Go ahead.
No, I completely lost my train because I was trying to compliment you.
Oh, you were going to compliment me and I screwed it up?
I'm not going to do it now.
No, compliment me.
No, absolutely not.
See, it happens. People don't get it too, that, when we're not in the same room, it's hard to kind of see when people are going to stop. And it happens. And we are addressing this in counseling.
You're picking up a stutter.
Well, because counseling's really getting to me.
You've been watching Biden. Were you watching Biden over the weekend, dude? Is that what you were doing? You were saying, I was going to the beach, but you're in there watching Biden. You're trying to pick up on the stutter.
Yeah. DeFango said he started cute. Yeah.
DeFango has said that since the beginning. Yeah. So we were making fun of DeFango in December of 2017 for people that don't know. From the CBTS server, we were making fun of that guy. Yeah. I was making fun of that guy with Jerome Corsi.
Yeah, the boards were making fun of him too. And by the way, DeFango let the cat out of the bag is that General Flynn and the ilk think that we're Q. How funny is that?
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's kind of what that is backed up by the case that they brought and the questions that you were asked behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty wild, guys. I see what you're saying. Biden stutter MK Ultra. Oh.
See, Paige gets it.
She had to explain it to me.
She gets me.
She does. I don't get it. DeFango said, Kevin, I don't care what DeFango said. I researched the posts.
I can't believe somebody's here saying DeFango said.
The posts, okay, news unlocks the map, and we're seeing Q proofs up the yin yang because
DeFango posted it.
Because DeFango started Q. That's why.
That's why DeFango knew that Trump was going to take down the Federal Reserve in 8 years, so he started posting about Q and all of the trade deals that were going to get done in 8 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, he knew about D-Class, and he knew about Radcliffe, and he knew about all because he's DeFango.
He knew everything. He's almost like Steinbart Light over there.
What is that movie with DeFango in it with the two cowboys? What is it called? Brokeback DeFango? What DeFango?
No, Jeff, I don't think you're thinking about the right thing. We might need to. I think you're thinking about something completely different. I'm sure.
Yes, Kevin, clearly DeFango is an operative. You are spot on with that as well.
Austin Steinbart was on live telling people that he was Q. He was literally on the air live telling people that he was Q, and Q was posting, and the person's asking him about the drop. He's like, "Oh, I don't know." Yeah.
Guys, we have so much fun with these operators. We've been doing this for 7 years. Our story would knock your socks off, to be quite honest.
Who wants to write a book?
Just like, when these space operators, ex-space operators befriended us and then they turned. I mean, how many times, Shady? How many times has that happened?
Not tolerating people that are turning on my president. I don't care how friendly I am with you. I'll give you fair warning right now. If you're turning on Trump, don't bring it to Shady because it will not end well.
He will slap you down. Rush 58 says Ephesians 4:26. Anger is not a sin. Holding on to it is.
Yes.
Be angry and do not sin.
Yes.
Jesus. Yeah. 14 Patriots for Truth. Favorite number 17. Q nerd number here 728. Date added 17. Imagine that, Shady.
DeFango said
it because he's the first post. How come it wasn't signed D then?
I'm not sure.
Vitamin D. Everybody needs a little bit of that in their life.
Yeah.
That's why I went to the beach. Perkins, Joe Ray, thank you for the $1 late fee. I appreciate you. We love you, Joe Ray.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind, and we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hour.
Wow.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Learn more about Arabella Advisors, the dark money behemoth who is public enemy number one.
Nothing worth doing ever came easy. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack the same courage to do what is right. And they know what is right, but they don't have the courage or the guts or the stamina to take it and to do it. It's called the road less traveled. What imprint will you leave in the sands of history? What will future Americans say we did in our brief time right here on Earth?
Take the children and yourself and hide out in the cellar. By now the fighting will be close at hand. Don't believe the church and state and everything they tell you. Believe in me, I'm with the high command.
administration is 100% committed to eradicating human trafficking from the earth, this form of modern-day slavery here in the United States and all around the world. We are dismantling the criminal organizations that make large-scale human trafficking possible. We will not rest until we've stopped every last human trafficker and liberated every last survivor.
There's a gun and ammunition just inside the doorway. Use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you?
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. There is nothing the political establishment will not do, no lie that they won't tell, to hold their prestige and power at your expense. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself.
Swear allegiance to the flag, whatever flag they offer. Never hint at what you really feel. Teach the children quietly for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight while we stood still. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Oh, my calling. Can you hear me?
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government while the people have borne the cost. Whether we are black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable. There should be no fear. We are protected, and we will be protected by God. Did we challenge accepted wisdom and take on established systems? I think I did, but we all did, and we're all doing it. Or did we just go along with convention, swim downstream so easily with the current, and just give in because it was the easy way, it was the traditional way, or it was the accepted way? I know that each of you will be a warrior for the truth, will be a warrior for our country and for your family. And as long as America remains true to its values, loyal to its citizens, and devoted to its creator, then our best days are yet to come. I can promise you that.
Can you hear me coming? The best is yet to come. Yes, sir. Holy moly. Here we are. Hour number 2. Shady, we've got more Q proofs.
Connects with the last 7 years, everybody. You know, what right there in that video, Jeff, he says something that's very important, I think, for this audience to understand. I think it's very important for you guys to realize you're protected by God whenever you stand in the truth. I want to make this clear. Whenever you don't stand in the truth, you're not in the same protection. If you're deviant, if you're deviating, if you're lying, if you're subverting, if you are cunning, if you are undercutting, if you're doing those things in your reality, you are not standing in the truth. And the reason that Jesus said the truth is the way, the truth is the way. That's the way. That's the way you get to who you are. That's the way you get back home, is you walk the path of the truth. That's the path that I got put on a long time ago within myself. I realized when I was very, very young that lying to people, being deceptive, and being dishonest, and not telling the truth was detrimental to my well-being. So whenever we decided to do this, what we thought would be cool was if we just generated a show that kept the spirit alive of Bill Cooper, who said to us very clearly, he said that each of us at different points in our lives to read everything, listen to everyone, believe nothing unless you can prove it with your own research. Well, you know what I proved with my own research? I proved that Donald Trump is fighting for America first.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is fighting for Jeff. He's fighting for me. He's fighting for you. He's fighting for MG Show, and he's fighting for all of the lunatics on the left. He's fighting for all of the lunatics out there that hate him. He's fighting for all of the people that are trying to take him down, and he's fighting for all of them equally, because at the core of it, he is placating to his constituency, which is the people who elected him to go there, who believed in him. You can say that I'm weak because I believed in Donald Trump and I thought that he could do it, but that's fine. That's your perspective. I'm not weak. This is the strongest movement in American political history. Nothing like this has ever happened. And because of Q, it's as strong as it is. Without Q, during the first administration, we would be in nowhere land right now.
But Shady, you worship Trump like he's God.
I know. It's okay.
I love my new revoice edition. Thank you very much, X Spaces. All right. So the United States applauds the ceasefire declaration between Cambodia and Thailand announced today in Kuala Lumpur. The president and Marco Rubio are committed to ending this conflict, guys. Boy, let's just read the post, okay? Let's just spoke to the acting Prime Minister of Thailand and Prime Minister of Cambodia. I am pleased to announce that after the involvement of President Donald J. Trump, both countries have reached a ceasefire and peace. Congratulations to all. By ending this war, we have saved thousands of lives. I have instructed my trade team to restart negotiations on trade. I have now ended many wars. In just 6 months, I am proud to be the president of peace. Oh boy, endless lies, endless wars, endless inflation, endless printing, endless oppression, endless subjugation, endless surveillance. Who will put an end to the endless? Taking control. Q. I mean, right there.
We the people. That's who.
By Donald Trump.
That's who do it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because the founders of the country made the presidency as powerful as it is for a very good reason. They didn't think necessarily that the whole system was going to be able to usurp the whole system the way that it did. But the power of the presidency, that's another thing that's a big Q proof. Q said the power of the presidency will end it. And that's what's happening.
Boom. And by the way, it's funny, all these Q proofs, where are the Q people anymore? Where are they?
They're Bannon's audience, InfoWars audience, and General Flynn's audience. Now, there are no people that are actually paying attention to this that are outside of this audience anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. They're all locked away in devolution. They're locked away in narratives. They are locked away in Palantir and Epstein.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because I it's funny, I even send it into Q groups and nobody really grabs it. So let's just look at this real quick. This is President Donald J. Trump, and it's a huge, actually,
I think it's because I don't think they know what they're looking at.
It's a huge pesky Q-proof because President Trump announces a landmark trade deal with the European Union, right? Look at that. That is the European Union, okay? That is the lady that does the European Union. So 11/11/17, Q posts 11/135, Rothschilds owned and controlled banks, okay? And many of these countries are in the European Union, okay? But there's also a European Union, European Central Bank, okay? These are huge deals, guys. Okay, these are huge. These are more of the banks. It talks about the Fed and the IRS. The U.S. Federal Reserve is a privately owned company sitting on its very own patch of land, immune to U.S. laws. In addition to President Trump doing a deal with the European Union, which has the European Union Central Bank, he is also. This will also include the European Union countries that are also found in the list. I don't think people understand the magnitude of what is actually going on with the restructuring of the Fed Reserve and the New World Order Babylonian money system, Shady. They don't get it.
No, because they didn't pay attention. You know, they don't understand. They don't understand what the significance of the Fed is because they don't understand history. That's the reason. I personally think that's the reason that, you know, it wasn't that you mentioned Paysur. It was the reality. It was what Paysur led to that was the reason that they had to try to shut us down. It was the research about the family control and connections of the system because it's like it doesn't really take. It takes one person to unravel a ball of yarn. One person can unravel the whole ball of yarn. And they knew that what we were saying was something that they couldn't put back in the box, like toothpaste. You can't put it back in the tube. And so they did not want this information to get out past the breaker. And we did that. We accomplished that. I'm reading today, Jeff, that Media Matters is declaring bankruptcy.
Oh, we didn't sue them yet.
Yeah, we didn't even. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're going to go bankrupt before we get an opportunity to sue them. Isn't that interesting the way censorship in America has worked? Media Matters is at the center of the reason that we were censored because YouTube listened to Media Matters and not listening to our content to realize that we were not breaking any rules of YouTube, and we didn't break any rules of YouTube or Patreon or Teespring or any of the other stuff. So that
but we were QAnon influencers, Shady. Booga, booga, booga. And now we're right.
And that's what I was going to say. How about now? Are we right and still QAnon influencers?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where's the CNN articles talking about, oh my God, these people are right and we were wrong?
Not a single one.
Donnie O'Sullivan. Where are you? Yeah. Get your kilt over here.
No, don't.
No, don't get your kilt over here. And by the way, she looked very scared in these negotiations, and they know what's coming. And he visited the Fed before leaving. Isn't that interesting, guys? So the restructuring is happening as we speak. He already did it the first term. Now it's time to kick it into full gear. Excuse me. What a wonderful time to be alive, Shady. Understanding Q and understanding what we know now because we're not all black-pilled and thinking about stupid crap.
Well, I think that the point that you just made is, I don't want to skip over that, how the importance of that, what we saw last week, the end of last week at the Federal Reserve, where does Donald Trump end up? He ends up immediately in the negotiations with the British Babylonian monetary system that we've been explaining to you is lording over you and has been since the creation of the central bank in 1913.
Yeah.
He went right to the source. He went to the Fed and then he went to the EU.
Yeah. So let's watch this post by your president, my president, who I support, actually, Shady Groove. I've never supported a president in my life.
Neither. I haven't either.
Ever.
Nope.
You got to vote for the lesser of two evils, Shady.
I never did. I always voted for someone else, except for Clinton the first time. Other than that, I voted for someone else until Donald Trump.
Thank you, Shady. I appreciate that.
I did. I didn't do it the second time, buddy. You fooled me on 92. 96, I did not vote for you.
Fool me once, fool me again. We don't get fooled again.
I got red-pilled between the first time I voted for you and the second time I didn't.
Hey, Shady, do you like my dress? Because that was a cover-up for China-gate.
Yeah,
I sold all of our technology so China could make our technology so planes could fly out of the sky.
So is that why you sent Hillary to the State Department to open the special access program so that they could actually catch up with us militarily, and then you could pretend like China was a threat in the future and undermine our American geopolitical stand on the world stage?
I left a stain on Monica Lewinsky's dress.
That's not what I asked you about.
Let's watch.
So we're going to do the following. The European Union is going to agree to purchase from the United States $750 billion worth of energy. $750 billion worth of energy. They are going to agree to invest into the United States $600 billion more than they're investing already. So they're investing a large amount of money. You know what that amount of money is. It's very substantial, but they're going to invest an additional $600 billion. They're agreeing to open up their countries to trade at zero tariff. So that's a very big factor. Opening up their countries, all of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff. And they're agreeing to purchase a vast amount of military equipment. We don't know what that number is, but it's the good news is we make the best military equipment in the world, so sort of you have to do that. I mean, until somebody tops us, which is not going to happen. We're way ahead of every other country in terms of the quality of the military equipment. You saw that recently in Iran, and you see that, unfortunately, you see that often for all the wrong reasons, right? So those things are 750 billion, 600 billion, opening up the country. We are agreeing that the tariff straight across for automobiles and everything else will be a straight across tariff of 15%. So we have a tariff of 15%. We have the opening up of all of the European countries, which I think I could say were essentially closed. I mean, you weren't exactly taking our autos, you weren't exactly taking our agriculture, and then you would have smaller things, but for the most part, it was closed. And now it's open. It's open for our companies to go in and do a good job with it. I think you'll like them. I think you'll like it. And we will, very importantly, they'll be investing a lot of money, but the military is a big number, but that's one number we're not determining. It's going to be whatever it is, but they're going to be purchasing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military equipment. They're very important. They're going to purchase $750 billion worth of energy. So that's going to be great. And $600 billion worth of investments into the United States over and above what they have. So, and I think that basically concludes the deal. I mean, those are the main factors. I don't think there are too many other factors, other than we're going to get along great. And we have a great relationship now with NATO, which is largely the same. I mean, not exactly, but pretty close, right? Largely. And with NATO, as you know, they're going up to 5% from 2%. And the relationship is very strong with NATO. So I just want to congratulate you. I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Wow, guys. But Shady, but Trump bad, Shady, booga, booga, booga. Joe Biden could have done better, right?
Wow. I mean, I can't tell you how huge this is. I can't even begin to tell you. Like, we're talking about, like, in total, what, 1, 2, 3.
So we're going to do
probably like we're pushing $8 trillion. I think he's pushing like $7.5, $8 trillion worth of investment into America since he was elected. Let's count it back to November, because he did a couple early deals in like December or whatever. He had things set up that he was moving into, but this is unbelievable. I just want everybody to understand, your economy is like, what, 20 trillion a year? It was 24, 22 trillion a year, somewhere in there. It fluctuates, but we're talking about an investment into our country in the last 6 months that's equal to approaching half of our growth, the economy, the GPA. Like, look at that number. That I can't even begin to calculate numbers that big. You think you could have sat here 10 years ago and said you were going to predict that the world was going to invest $8 trillion into the future of America? This isn't people like handing us money. They're the whole thing with Japan, Jeff, they're giving us 90% of all the proceeds that they make off of all of the, if they bring a Kubota company in here,
yeah,
we're going to make 90%, they make 10. That's a great deal for us. That's the opposite. We've been talking about the pay source stuff. That's the opposite of the agent deal, isn't it? Remember, the agents get the 5% and the pay source get the rest? America's getting 90%, and the cronies are getting. Do you see how he's reversing all of this, everyone, and how big this is? I
Yeah.
hope you see it.
Yeah, I do too. Here's a huge pesky Q proof. 960 whole views, Shady Groove. Wow.
I know.
Wow,
People
we're
aren't
really
paying
doing
attention
good.
to it.
We're doing good. So this is a few pesky Q proofs in this exchange. He talks about the change of batter by switching out. That's Q post 4104. Remember that, Shady Groove? That whole
Yes.
dig that we did, assassination. Okay, was in that post. That was a huge dig. I even said it's either going to be Kamala or Hillary, and it ended up being Kamala. Change of batter coming, right? And Epstein. So President Trump takes questions about Epstein files during his meeting with the UK Prime Minister and explains why it's a hoax. 128 on 2020, QPost 3799 says, "You didn't think we highlighted Epstein for no reason, did you?" And then today, President Trump talks about how Biden was losing and they changed the candidate with Kamala, change of batter. President Trump explains that the Epstein files are a hoax because bad people were in charge of them. And when it compares, and then he compares it to the Steele dossier, which is fake news. Is this why Q actually highlighted Epstein to show you that it's all part of their playbook? And I link you to all 49 Epstein Q posts, and you got to hear the exchange here because this is epic, guys. This is epic.
Repost this if you see the link in your chat, please.
Yep, I just posted the thing in the chat, the link in the chat. Let's watch.
President, you have said that you have not been briefed on the Epstein files, or your name has not appeared in the Epstein files. But doesn't the AG have to tell you if your name is...
Well, I haven't been overly interested in it. You know, it's a hoax that's been built up way beyond proportion. I can say this, those files were run by the worst scum on earth. They were run by Comey, they were run by Garland, they were run by Biden, and all of the people that actually ran the government, including the auto pen. Those files were run for 4 years by those people. If they had anything, I assume they would have released it. The whole thing is a hoax. They ran the files. I was running against somebody that ran the files. If they had something, they would have released. Now, they can easily put something in the files that's a phony. Like, as an example, Christopher Steele, a person you know well, happens to be from your country. But Christopher Steele, as an example, wrote a book, a dossier. We call it the fake news dossier. And the whole thing was a fake. The whole thing was a fake. They could put things in the file that are fake. But those files were run by bad, sick people. If they had anything, why didn't they use it when I was killing Joe, and then he gave out because he was 25 points down, and then I got somebody new. Nobody even knew anything about it. She was a horrible vice president. She was a border czar, but she never went to the border. She never once called a border patrol agent to find out I would done, but she was the border czar. Her name was Kamala. Nobody knows her last name. It was Harris, but nobody knew her last name. So I ended up, how would you like to end up in a race where you're killing somebody, you're beating him, and then they say, all right, we'll take him out. He's not working. Let's put somebody else. And then she had a 6-week honeymoon. It was amazing. They predicted she would have a 6-week honeymoon, and she did. And then she got slaughtered. But think of it. Those files were run by these people. They were run by my enemy. If there was anything in there, they would have used them for the election. Yeah.
Do you think that drawing, I think I heard you say something the other day, that the drawing that was the subject of the Wall Street Journal report.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person.
Do you think it was fraudulent?
I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, would you draw a building? And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for charity stuff. But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women, that I can tell you. They say there's a drawing of a woman, and I don't do drawings of women. And also, Epstein was always a very controversial guy. I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1 bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and many big people, big successful people. But I just don't, when you talk about files, I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is not correct, because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue. They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll numbers are up 4.5 points since this ridiculous Epstein stuff? My poll numbers have gone up 4.5 points because people don't buy it. Okay, people don't buy it. And he's gone, and we want to focus on trade deals. I want to focus on the deal we just made with the European Union, which is the biggest trade deal in history. It's the biggest deal, I think, in history, not just trade deal. So if they would have had something, they would have used it.
And people keep writing stories about the time you threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. Can you settle that? What was it about? What caused the breach with him?
That's such old history. Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island, and Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them. I never had the privilege of going to his island. And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island. Yeah.
Mr. President, on Gaza, next time you speak to
Patriots are in control now, Shady Groove.
Wow. I'm hoping that today we're answering a lot of questions. If anybody's been experiencing the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that is being spread around by the chaos agents among the internet, the interwebs, I'm hoping that you're starting to see clearly exactly what it is that is being done to Donald Trump and how it matches perfectly with what was done to Donald Trump with Russia, and the impeachment hoax and every single other thing that had been done. They act as if there is something to the story so that they can ignore everything else. I want to make that very clear. It's not like they do not care about the story. What they care about is making sure that everyone is properly distracted and properly emotionally out of control over everything so that no one actually sees the productivity that's going on so that you don't become very, very excited about where America is going and get a head start on it by realizing that you personally, individually, are going to benefit from where we're going as a nation. You have the ability to actually play ball, to actually get involved into the game. Now that the taxation is being reorganized, you have the ability to start a company with almost no investment. You could go through all these different channels that have to do with crypto now and make loans where you don't even need a bank to make a loan. Do you guys understand that? Donald Trump just solidified the reality that going forward in the future, we are going to be able to start businesses by borrowing money from people that are holding crypto instead of borrowing money from people that are running the bank. That is literally turning the whole system on its head, and everyone wants to pretend like they care about this stuff. You don't care about Epstein. None of these people really do.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to find out Bill Clinton, and you're going to find out a lot of other stuff, man. And Larry Summers was in one Q post. It was the picture of all the people that flew to the island. Okay. Right. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. And he was the head of Harvard. Look at Harvard today. Okay. He's starting to put all these things together, right?
Do you guys realize that because of the America First agenda and Donald Trump, they released a worldwide global pandemic to stop him? And then they claimed that, that you weren't allowed to go see your family in the funeral. You weren't allowed to have a funeral. You weren't allowed to get married. You couldn't do anything in society because Donald Trump was kicking their ass. You realize that's what happened. I'm hoping that people realize that at this point.
Also, just want to touch on this. Nothing is happening, Shady, but the Justice Department with the FBI, that's Dan Bongino and Kash Patel, okay, shut down a dark child abuse website that had 1,200 members and millions of files, guys. The Justice Department, there's a rate. It's community noted. But Operation Grayskull culminates in a lengthy sentence for managers of a dark website dedicated to sexual abuse of children. Operation Grayskull eradicated 4 dark web child abuse sites and led to the convictions of 18 offenders to date. There's going to be more possible, who have collectively received more than 300 years in prison. Today, the Justice Department announced the results of Operation Grayskull, a highly successful joint effort between the Department of Justice and the FBI that resulted in dismantling of 4 dark websites dedicated to image and videos containing child sexual abuse materials. Okay. To date, the operation has led to 18 convictions, 18 offenders, including Minnesota man who was sentenced yesterday to 250 months in prison and a lifetime supervised release for his involvement with one of these dark websites. He's also ordered to pay $23,000 in restitution. Quote, today's announcement sends a clear warning to those who exploit and abuse children. You will not find safe haven even on the dark web, said Acting Assistant Attorney General Mark R. Galati of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. Quote, these offenders thought that they could act without consequences, but they were wrong. Thanks to the relentless determination of our prosecutors and law enforcement partners, we have exposed these perpetrators for who they are, eliminated their website, and brought justice to countless victims. Operation Grayskull. Shady. What does that remind you of? Pain. Look at that.
Pain.
That's kind of a gray skull. Just saying. Wow.
And this is a big deal. I've got a little bit that I put together here. I was working on a thread last night on this, but this is that I didn't get published yet. But this is crazy. I mean, we're talking about French, Kiev. We're working together. This includes massive sites that were in Russia, actually. So there was this worldwide coordinated effort that went into the foundation, if you will, of everything that culminated with this. But the idea that they took them down is what's crucial. A lot, you guys, if you're not on tour, if you don't understand the dark web, what goes on over there, it's a nasty place, and it's pretty much free reign. And I know that we had these posts from Dan and Cash this weekend that point to some pretty big stuff that's going on. And I think that a lot of it has to do with their realizing the connection between the intelligence agencies and the dark web and the military industrial complex and the symbiotic nature of how they are wielding this worldwide trafficking lanes. And, a few of these sites that were taken down were considered some of the most egregious child pornography disseminating, because it's not just a website where you don't just go look at this stuff. You go there and you download files. So they provide you a space where you could go download the files. And it looks to be according to Reddit and a number of other different places, dread and exploit. They're talking about massive disruptions on the dark net forums of CSAM, ops drawing chatter due to the stigma and the ransomware takedown. So it wasn't just sites. It looks like it was a multifaceted, multi-country operation. Yeah.
So I would like you all to just take a moment, and I'm going to read this to you. And if you guys, I'm going to drop the link. If you guys could repost this, check out the MG Show with Jeff and Shannon for unfiltered truth on current events. Rumble.com/MG Show is where our headquarters is, but we're on all your podcasts as well. Unlike the chaotic X spaces where confused folks just hate on Trump with feelings and no facts, this show cuts through the noise with bold, clear insights. Please tune in to the MG Show. This is, as Shady explained earlier, an ongoing conversation to understand and get your mind around what actually, has meaning with President Trump and what he and his new administration, with certain people that are not in the administration, are panicking. And by the way, guess who's going after? I'll give you 3 stars in general if you can figure out who doesn't like Ratcliffe. These people are panicking, and you will see your day. I also quickly want to show you this, Shady Groove. I found this quote from our friend Kash Patel. Do you remember Kash Patel, Shady Groove?
Dude, he's a great friend of the show.
Yeah.
A great friend of the show that became the FBI director.
Yeah, wow. Kash Patel says answers on FBI sources at January 6th riot will shock people. Okay? What if we already know? What if it has something to do with 3 stars, his brother, and Roger Stone, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys? What if, guys?
What if we shared the shocking information with him?
What if we did? No, what if?
That'd be good. I'd like
What
to
if he
send-
requested it?
If you guys would like to go on a field trip today, after the show, I'd like to send you on a field trip. Go to General Flynn's Twitter profile. Just go to the top there at the little search icon and type in Ratcliffe. Tell me what you come up with. Give me a report back to Shady later on in the day. Let's see what you find. See if General Flynn feels the same way about Ratcliffe's great work as we do. I want also to tell you, everybody, that Tulsi Gabbard is above Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe reports to Tulsi. So Tulsi, you're going to praise Tulsi and attack Ratcliffe. Tulsi is the one that released the information that Ratcliffe passed on to her. She wouldn't have that information that she published had Ratcliffe not given it to her. I just find it very interesting where the attacks are headed.
Shady, I like you. I like you,
You like
Shady.
the way I talk?
Are we live? Ratcliffe will do nothing, says General Flynn. Ratcliffe should immediately declassify the entirety of the declassified Hillary Clinton dossier. Let's see. Enough is enough and heads need to roll. Russiagate, he doesn't like Wow, Ratcliffe immediately. Wow, Shady. Wow. He doesn't like Ratcliffe, Shady. I'm just
you
reporting.
can learn a lot just doing some nice little simple reading.
And all I did is I went to my thing. Okay, so you go to here, you go here, and you put from General Flynn, RATCLIFFE, and there it is.
Now I can see.
So here, boom.
There
Boom.
you go. Yes.
RATCLIFFE, boom. He should immediately do, Ratcliffe will do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like he misspelled it a couple times too. I noticed yesterday.
Okay.
I just think it's interesting. Whenever I see one of these people misspelling someone's name, y'all think of Corny and Bikeland. You guys remember that a lot of the Biden mentions were Bikeland, BICLAN.
Bikeland.
Bikeland.
And isn't it funny that he uses a Q post?
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Well, they do that often. And he hits the Q deltas, too. Remember, he hit the Q delta a while back, but Q is CIA.
Let me decode that, Shady.
Get over here and decode it. We need to read Bongino's comment.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't have it.
I have to go get it?
I just now remembered
What,
that we
you
needed to
just
read
sit
it.
there and say, Jeff, who's the master now?
Me?
I guess
Are you
so.
saying- Oh.
Jeez. Yes,
I
master.
just now had the thought, man. It's like,
yes, master.
it's real. We've still got 15 minutes. You got plenty of time to get there.
Yes, master.
Obey.
Yes, master.
No.
Yes.
Start
right.
squatting like an otter.
All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
No.
What?
I couldn't read that if it was on my screen.
During my tenure here as Deputy Director of the FBI, this is from Dan Bongino, I have repeatedly relayed to you that things are happening that might not be immediately visible, but they are happening. Wow, that's a cute post, isn't it?
Yep.
You don't take, what is it? For inaction. Don't take something for inaction, okay? Whatever. The director and I are committed to stamping out the public corruption and the political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It is a priority for us, but what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. We are going to conduct these righteous and proper investigations by the book. By the book, Shady. And in accordance with the law. It must be done right. Okay? We are going to get the answers we all deserve. As with any investigation, I cannot predict where it will land, but I can promise you an honest and dignified effort at truth. Not my truth or your truth, but the truth. God bless America and all those who defend her. Respectfully, Dan Bongino.
Who else says exactly that? Not your truth, not my truth, but the truth. Did we say that? Did we ever say that?
Yeah.
What do you got here? We got like post 576. See, Jeff, I am doing some work. The
Okay,
flood is
good.
coming. Emails, videos, audios, pics, etc. FBI accidentally deletes the text. No such agency accidentally releases it all. Shall we play a game? Q response. Expand your thinking. Planned 3 moves, counter moves, strategy, warfare. This week will be revealing. Snow White 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 5 offline. 7th floor no more just because you can't see it. doesn't mean big things aren't happening. Night Riders Fly 2018 will be glorious. Q. Then we have post 691, where this guy has like screwed this all up with putting the post in the center of the post. This has to mean China did this for or with us somehow. Q wouldn't live stream it without some kind of permission. Q says people ask for arrests. Gave one example. Just because you can't see doesn't mean it's not ongoing. Trust the plan. Q. This is where people get lost. Yes, this is where people get lost with trust the plan. Trust the plan means, it doesn't mean some secret devolution thing. Trust the plan means trust the idea of a D5 avalanche, that you know in your heart that there was a snowball, and you know that that snowball was little, and you know that that snowball was at the top of the hill, and you know the key component to that snowball is that you pushed it off of the ledge. It's not going back up there. That's trust the plan. That's realize that we have opened up a can of worms that cannot be put back together, and eventually you are going to see the people that you are most frustrated with not being able to walk down the street. That is Q. That's what Q was saying. That's what Q meant by trust the plan. Not devolution, not Trump was secretly the president, and not any of this stuff about, we brought in 30 million illegals just so we can fight and fluster with them for 4 years trying to get them gone. Yeah. Don't be insane.
And I'd like to bring up this post 4014 Shady Groove. It was.
Change
of batter coming. Okay, so this didn't happen in 2020.
Nope.
It happened in the 2024 election. I can't remember now. Yeah, 2024 election, guys. And this was from 2020, this post. Okay, change of batter coming, right? And we're like, what does change of batter mean, right? Oh, wow. So we looked at change of batter coming. Obama, Pelosi, other Democrats are fresh to, push for Biden. Okay. These are Q proofs. Okay. Kamala, Hillary. I even asked the question. Here's 5 reasons Kamala Harris is probably in if Biden drops out. Hillary Clinton is a risky Biden 2024 surrogate. So as the news comes out, these posts unlock. This post was from 2020, guys. Okay. And then how do you harm opponents' accomplishment regarding economy, unemployment, and those assassination? Okay, that fits right in those dots, guys. And what happened, Shady? Did they try to assassinate President Donald J. Trump?
Yes. Yep. And remember that this was
Trump assassination fits those dots.
Right. And also remember, this is post 4014. Let's go through and connect it to Bush and the train. Remember the train, the 4014 on the train, where Bush was laid to, that was his last run to spring whatever. I can't remember exactly, but it was all connected. Like all these things were connected to, to the change of batter coming and the bloodline and what they were going to do. Like that, the Q essentially predicted Kamala Harris 4.5 years before Kamala Harris.
And Shady, Union Pacific, you've heard of them, right?
I have.
What's big boy number 4014?
Looky there. Has MG Show talked about this before, guys? You guys remember us talking about the big boy train?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the trains every Friday now, aren't we? Mm. Isn't it interesting, Jeff? One thing I'll throw out there to you with all these things that are going on. Remember what we read in the book? It said that you weren't allowed to have an electric company unless you had a railroad company. Do you remember that? You read that in the Paysor book with us on the Fridays. You're not allowed to own an electric company unless you've owned a railroad company. You know what just changed with the executive orders that Donald Trump has just finished? The companies that are doing AI and a number of other things are going to be able to build electric companies on site of their AI compounds. So effectively, he has engineered away from all of that whole system that says you can't have an electric company unless you have a train company. And he's engineered away from the whole system that has stolen your money and has stolen all your trade negotiations. And he's like moving away from all of the system that controls everything about your bilateral trade agreements. There's literally nothing of the old guard left right now, currently where we sit 6 months in. There's no stranglehold on your economy anymore. He's literally went right to the heart of it.
Yeah.
And freed it. Except for Jerome Powell won't lower the rate. Why wouldn't he lower the rate? It's lower in almost every industrialized country than us now.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, This thread I broke down line by line. It's a Q proof, guys. Line by line. 4014. Q post 4014. I'm going to drop it in here so you guys have it. I did repost it. It's on my Twitter, X, or whatever you call it. But I'm telling you, Q has given us so much, and here we are attacked for it constantly, Shady.
I know. It's funny. It's funny because what I'm doing is I'm defending. I'm being attacked for defending Donald Trump. That is what has happened to us. We could take every single thing else out. We could take Ramtha. We could take Red Shoe. Take all of it out. We're attacking for supporting Donald Trump and for doing it in a belligerent manner that doesn't care about your dumb criticisms. I don't care if your media matters or if you're like, Twitter Spaces people.
Yeah, I don't give it.
I don't care. Don't
dang.
Say.
I don't give a dang. Let's quickly, before we get out of here, let's talk about Rumble real quick, guys.
Okay.
UK regulators have threatened American companies with censorship. We'll be monitoring Rumble's position carefully. Thread. Okay, and we'll be in touch. We become aware anything that contradicts the above position or any incidents your service causes us to believe a level of risk to Rumble's UK users is of concern, guys. Okay. For more than a year, Judiciary GOP has been warning that UK and European tech regulators are trying to censor our speech, U.S. speech. First, we took up the EU censor with Thierry Breton when he tried to silence President Trump during the 2024 campaign. He resigned a month later, okay? But that's only the tip of the iceberg. Beginning in February, we subpoenaed 9 tech companies for their communication with foreign censors around the world. And this is an article about Jordan talking about the foreign censorship probe. Now we have, when foreign censors pressures companies to take down U.S. speech, Judiciary GOP will know. Subpoenaed documents produced in the committee offer new evidence that this is happening. The Online Safety Act is the UK's online censorship law. It allows the British government to dictate how social media companies must censor so-called disinformation and misinformation and hate speech. In other words, the truth. Okay? They're censoring the truth. So Ofcom, which is official account for Ofcom, the UK's independent communications regulator, TV, radio, telecoms, video sharing post for more. Okay, so this is, if you want to read it in Welsh, you can go to that. But that's Ofcom right there, okay? It's the UK's media regulator, and it's targeting companies including Rumble Video and Reddit, believe it or not. I think they're just, targeting Reddit just to, make it look like it's,
something
nonpartisan. Right.
Yeah.
So, new non-public emails obtained by the committee reveal Ofcom's subtle regulatory threats to Rumble, even though the UK is not a target market for Rumble. Ofcom, even though we have a lot of UK people in here, we love you guys. We got Scottish, we got Moody, we got of them. Yeah, we got a lot of you guys. Okay. So Ofcom, would you like to meet again? Rumble, no. We have very few UK users and aren't targeting the UK market. Are you sure you don't want to meet? Rumble, yes. Ofcom, wrong choice. We'll be watching you, and we have subpoena power and aren't afraid to use it. That's right. UK authorities want to supervise a non-UK tech company that does not have significant number of online users in the UK and is not targeting the UK market. So why is the UK regulator harassing companies about UK censorship law that's supposed to apply only to the UK?
Great question.
Rumble held the line for now, arguing that this is not within the scope of the OSA, but the UK authorities are still watching the platform. Hello.
Hi. Say hello to the intelligence agency.
I know. Shortly after Rumble declined to meet, Ofcom menacingly warned Rumble that it would be monitoring them carefully. In the same email, here it is, strongly encouraged Rumble to take censorship steps required by the OSA. Thank you for your email. We note your position that you do not consider Rumble to be a scope in the act on the grounds that you do not have a significant number of online users in the UK, and that the UK is not a target market, as well as your belief that there is no material risk of significant harm to UK users of Rumble. We have not assessed or reached any decision on the matter and reserve the position in this regard. Furthermore, to guidance note that we have already shared with you is for Rumble to assess whether or not it is the subject of duties contained in the Act and to the extent it is. To ensure it is in compliance with those duties, we will be monitoring Rumble's position carefully.
That's German. And
yes, it is.
You said duty.
duty. And we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. When we become aware of anything that contradicts the above position, any incidents or on your service that cause us to believe the level of risk to Rumble's UK users is concerned, we would strongly encourage Rumble to take steps required by the Act to protect UK users of internet services and content that is illegal in the UK or potentially harmful to UK children. In that spirit, I would like to highlight an upcoming event that Ofcom is hosting, quote, the Online Safety Act explained and how to comply with the rules to protect children, Shady. Rumble is not the only company that has faced regulatory harassment in the UK. New documents produced by the committee under subpoena show that Ofcom began supervision of Reddit in December of 2023, Shady.
That's a long time ago.
In Reddit's case, Ofcom said that the supervisory relationship would help embed British standards on social media on topics like alleged hate speech. The truth is hate speech, guys. In many cases, those British standards run counter to fundamental American free speech principles. This summer, the UK's Information Commissioner described a clash of cultures between the UK and American tech platforms. He even singled out Reddit, claiming that the speech-friendly policies do not align with the expectation of British lawmakers.
It's like you can't read the whole thing, like you get like halfway through it.
It is no surprise that British officials have long been hostile to the online speech rights of Americans. Just last year, London's top cop threatened to arrest Americans for online posts made in America, guys. I mean, stop it. Stop it.
The British sure can
Stop
draw on.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
It's like, oh my God.
All right, so Jim Jordan goes on to say the committee continues to investigate foreign threats to American free speech and act on them. Tech platforms to continue to produce our communications with foreign government, censor and ongoing bias of the committee under the subpoena. And earlier this year, committee passed a No Censors on Our Shores Act, which would bar foreign censors from coming to the United States. As long as foreign legislatures and judges and regulators continue their attempts to silence U.S. citizens, we will not stop fighting back.
Yeah. Bonster is requesting that you do the British impersonation with the egg voice. So.
Well, you know, Eggstein is really good. He basically was my friend, Prince Andrew, and I don't think it's a problem when I stay at his house after he was convicted with sex trafficking.
That makes the British voice sound better and less cringy.
Oh, my God. So the truth is belligerent, guys. I'm sorry, Shady. We've got to go. 2 hours really goes fast right here on this show. And we're going to be censored on Facebook because I played a song that they should have rights to.
Yes, that will occur. And if everybody out there, please, on your way out, don't forget to hit that thumbs up / like button. We need to be every day with everybody. Everybody hit the like button on your way out. Shady's going to be upset. I can see the people that don't hit the like button.
How many dislikes do we have, Shady?
Today, well, I see 3 right now, but if
I see 4.
I'm sure that the second shift is coming in now.
God. All right, guys. And with that, the truth is bad enough, UK. You can't handle the truth. God bless you all.
And just like I've told you for many, many years, you don't have to lie about things. You don't have to sensationalize them. You don't have to make anything up. You don't have to invent figures. The truth is bad enough. The truth's bad enough. And if you tell the truth, you have credibility. And credibility means people will listen to you. Credibility means things will be tended to. When you lie and people find out that you're lying, and it's easy, it is so easy to discover, then you have no credibility. You become a liar. You become somebody with no confidence factor. You become a rumor monger. You become a minion of the old, who was it? Who was it that was billed as the great deceiver? Wonder who that was. See, whenever you spread a rumor, whenever you tell a lie, whenever you stretch the truth or sensationalize something, and I don't care what the reason is that you do it, you become an ally of the great deceiver. Somebody called him Heinrich Himmler. Somebody else called him Lucifer. Somebody else called him Satan. You can call him anybody you want. But listen to me very carefully. He's not anybody I want around me. His minions are not anybody that I want to know or be associated with or hear from. His minions and allies and supporters are not the people that I care about. You understand? You want to be on his side? Stay the hell away from me. Don't call me. Don't write me. Don't reference me. Don't email me. I don't want anything to do with you. If you're a spreader of rumors and lies and disinformation and sensationalization and all of this other bullshit. Do you hear me, sheeple? I don't know why it makes people so angry. You know, if all get off your butts and do the same research that I do, you would know the same things that I know, and you shouldn't be angry or jealous or upset. What you should be is thankful for having forewarning so that you can act upon it. But do you ever act upon anything? Have you ever? Will you ever? That's the question. That is the hinge upon which the door to the future operates. You don't know that. You don't give a damn, probably. Because to oil the hinge and make the door work and make it all better, you gotta get up off your ass and do something. Oh, heaven forbid you have to do that. Oh my goodness, you might even have to take some kind of personal risk. You might even get on somebody's list. Oh, people might even start to respect you because you cease to become worthless.
Ha!
But, oh, who am I to dream like that? Come on, Bill. I mean, you know, you're really getting away with yourself here, dreaming like that. Come on, Bill. Get real.
www.mg.show. Boom.